We had a little difficulties yesterday while fishing. We had the take your kid to work day, which I took Alex fishing with me, and it was terrible. The wind was blowing. It was rough conditions. We couldn't fish in the lake, but we went up in the river, and he actually caught him a nice bluegill and a 2-pound 3-ounce bass on his catch-all crankbait. And we decided to call it a day shortly after that, which led to headed back across the windy lake. And when we were headed back across the lake, we encountered mechanical problems. The boat did not want to stay running, so I assumed it was a primer bulb because I haven't changed that in a few years. So we got him back there squeezing on the bubble primer bulb, and we managed to make it back across the lake. So we had to go to a different lake yesterday afternoon to practice for a tournament that's tomorrow. So on my way, I just stopped and got a new fuel line assembly and put it on there, expecting that to solve the problem. Well, that didn't solve the problem. So yesterday afternoon, while we were practicing for the tournament, Mike, my fishing partner, was back there in the back of the boat, and he was kind of having to treat it similar to one of those the old Singer or the old swing line, whatever that old sewing machine was that you have to push the pedals to make it go. He had to put the primer bulb under his flip-flop because he don't wear boots, and had to keep kind of just jumping on that bulb to keep us running. So we practiced. We found a few good fish. Don't know if they'll be there on Saturday or not. We normally we have good practices and bad tournaments, and that by far was the worst practice ever due to mechanical problems, and I lost one of my rod socks. But anyway, so upon doing a little bit of research, it is believed that the problem is the mechanical fuel pump that is in the back of the engine. So had to take a little ride this morning, and went over to a place that had one of the fuel pumps in stock. So now we're going to go home and get elbow deep in a 40 horse Mercury. Alright, so the Mercury 40 horse fuel pump replacement. I've already done the fuel pump replacement just so I could get a good feel of how everything works. Now I'm going to go over the steps of how to replace it. Alright, right here on the back of the motor, you have 4 hoses that actually hook to this fuel pump. You have your water line, which comes through here so that in case your screen gets clogged on the bottom of your foot and restricts water here, it actually closes a diaphragm that will not let the fuel come in. So basically your fuel comes from the tank around through. Here's your fuel filter, your second one. First one's buried down in here. I won't even be able to show y'all that one. Comes through that fuel filter and then comes into the pump here, goes out of the pump there. So you just kind of want to familiarize yourself with these hoses so that you don't get them mixed up. You shouldn't be able to, the way they're laying, other than the water and the fuel right here. I can see how you could get those two twisted, but that would be it. So basically just cut your tie wraps, the 4 tie wraps that are on there, remove your 4 lines, then you'll pull those 2 bolts out, top one right back there, and then the bottom one is right down there. This bracket will come off, and then you can put it on your new fuel pump. The biggest thing to be concerned with is when you're going back in, there's a rubber grommet, and you have to make sure when you put the fuel pump in that you kind of wiggle it to make sure you get that O-ring seated centered over that hole. Otherwise you'll be losing crankcase oil, and that's not a good thing. So alright, well that's it y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and if you have this problem with your boat, you'll know how to fix it. Thank you. Alright y'all, well we got the fuel pump put on, and took it for one little test run. It did perfectly fine, and I saw some brim over here popping underneath these tree branches, so I decided to stop in for a minute, see if I couldn't pick a few up, and I have caught some. I have caught 3, but just then I was throwing and I caught a big old magnolia tree with my fly rod, and I hung it way up in the tree, you know where them big fish live. So now I have to tie me a line back on my fly rod. Oh yeah. Y'all don't tell Abby I was cutting line off of her pink Barbie pole. That wouldn't be good. She might not appreciate that. Which one? I'm gonna tie on this little brown bug. You're not. Alright, we back fishing now. Not nearly as windy today as it was yesterday.